And welcome. Hi, everybody. It's Frankie Boyer, and this is WCRN and WACE. Joining me today, our special guest is Dr. David Minkoff. Dr. David Minkoff wears many hats. He is a physician. He's also a formulator and one of the leading pioneers in functional medicine. You know, we as Americans have been given a very, very, very difficult task these past few months. And for many of us, it's been a reset, an opportunity to go back and to fix some things that maybe we kind of let go of, kind of let it go. Dr. Minkoff writes an awful lot about how we should be living our lives in a book called The Search for the Perfect Protein. We'll get into that in a moment. But Dr. Minkoff, we have been given, I look at this as a reprieve. We have been given an opportunity to kind of go back and look at what is working in our lives and what's not.
That's true.
And I was not moving. I was moving. I thought I was moving. I thought I was doing, steps and all of that. But the truth is that I really wasn't. And as someone who used to run and be like a gym rat and all of that, I was thinking, boy, I've really not been doing what I need to do. And I used to get up at 5 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning. I can't believe I did this. And I worked out with a trainer. There were 4 of us, and she really got us to a place where it was so wonderful because 3 days a week, it was intense. I mean, really intense, like pushed us to a point where you just wanted to kill her. But she really did what she was supposed to do, was to push us, to make us the best we could be. And I ask the question to everyone out there, are you doing the work right now? Are you being the best that you can be? And so for me, something happened about a month ago, if not longer, when you were on, and you started to share with us about the importance of movement and exercise, that we should be doing it at least 6 days a week. At least 6 days a week, getting out there. And it kind of was like the bell rang in my head. And I have been walking with a friend ever since that interview. Every morning, 6 days a week, 5-6 days a week. It doesn't matter if it's raining. It doesn't matter that it's 99 degrees out and full humidity. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I get out and I move. And my knees are not great. I have to tell you, my knees are not great. But I'm doing it. I'm doing it. And I'm moving at a very fast pace. And we're doing a lot of intensity, as you have recommended, moving faster and then a little slower and then a little faster. We've been doing that. And what did you say, Dr. Minkoff? It takes 60 days to make it a habit?
Yeah, 60 days for a new habit.
For a new habit. Okay, so I'm a little more than halfway there, but I can tell you, and I just want to share with everybody what this has done. So it has given me some clarity on other issues in my life. It has allowed me to see that there are some people that I've eliminated from my life, friends. I have a little bit of extra discipline. I'm an artist. And I'm going to, on my new website, I'm going to have a place to start posting some of my new works because they're pretty fun and fabulous. And I've noticed the discipline to paint that I'm focused, more focused than I've ever been. And I am just loving my art again in a way that I haven't in years. It's almost like a renewal. And I'm going deeper, and I'm pushing myself, and I'm pushing myself in every area of my life right now, Dr. Minkoff, as a result of my getting up in the morning and beginning my day by moving.
Yeah, it's true. You take over one area, and then your discipline improves, and you can confront other areas. It's really true. I don't know if you ever saw the book called Body for Life. There was a fitness trainer, and I think he either owned
Bill
or
Phillips?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did you ever hear it? Did you ever see the video they made on the contest he ran? He ran a contest from Muscle Media magazine, and the contest was follow this discipline system that, his system for either 60 or 90 days. Take a picture before, take a picture after. He has a supplement line, so take my supplements. And whoever at the end writes the best success story and has the best transformation, I'll give him a Ferrari. So he thought that the promotion would only bring in a few hundred people, maybe a few thousand people, and I think they had, 50 or 60,000 people entered the contest.
Wow.
And it became overwhelming, like to just even read that many, the things that people sent in, their pictures and their success stories. And somehow they narrowed it down to 10 people, and they sort of played it like Publishers Clearinghouse, where they went to their house by surprise, and they said, "You're a finalist." And he brings all the finalists to his main office, and they sit around he has 3 or 4 days with them where they do some kind of seminar, and each of them told their success story. And one of the things that was remarkable about every person that won, some of them were business executives, and some of them were alcoholics, and some of them were housewives. They were people from every sort of walk of life, and the common denominator on every one of the 10 finalists was that by taking their diet in hand and their exercise over 60 or 90 days, whatever it was, it had transformed their lives. And the guy on Skid Row who was a drunk completely got out of it, and he got a job, and it was just, the stories were very just heart-wrenching. They were so powerful when someone gets focused and they get a goal, that they can do it.
Yeah.
And it was kind of funny. The video was very powerful because on the last day he has these 10 people sitting around the table, and they've just spent 3 days together. And he says, I was not able to decide which of your stories was the best one. And he said, so I'm sorry, I'm going to leave the room. I'll be back in an hour, and you guys decide who's won among you. So he leaves the room.
Wow.
He comes back in an hour, and he says, okay, what'd you guys decide? And they said, oh no, we're not playing this game. This is your contest. You decide. We're not going to do it. So he said, well, I thought that's what was going to happen. So in the last hour, I just went out and instead of getting the Ferrari, I bought 10 Corvettes, and you each get one.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's very powerful. But the stories from people are exactly what you're saying. You get focused, and you get an intention and a goal, and you go toward that. There's no telling what you can do. And I think ultimately human potential comes down to that. Everybody's got their genius, but very few people have the focus to pursue the obstacles that it takes to accomplish something.
That's right.
And
That's
if
right.
you just keep your focus for 2 months, put your discipline in for 2 months, you can work that habit, that muscle of working towards something that you can get, and it can change your life. It can transform your life.
I just want people to understand 3 real important points. One, that this focus is really critical for the next few months for all of us, because we really don't know how this COVID is what's going to happen. Secondly, physical fitness is really critical as part of the immunity story. And thirdly, supplementation. And one of the things that I'm so impressed with are all of your lines. I mean, your line is just, I've never been, in all of the years I've been doing this on the air, and it's been about 20 years, I've never been so impressed with every single one of your products. The perfect aminos, I don't go a day without. I mean, they're just my staple. I've noticed muscle tone. The weight loss product is spectacular. I just started using the electrolyte formula. Magnificent. Your multivitamins, people listening know this is no BS. I've never, ever endorsed or talked about a multivitamin in my whole entire career, except yours is extraordinary and exceptional. So, needless to say, I am such a huge fan of your products and what you're trying to do, but I want people to really understand that the underlying basis of all of this is that if we don't take control, if we are not going to take control of our lives, someone else will. And we will be more vulnerable and susceptible to many viruses, not just the coronavirus. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back and we will talk more about the importance of immunity and why this conversation is so critical. It's not just movement, it's a whole combination of things. We're talking today to Dr. David Minkoff. He is the founder of Perfect Aminos, Body Health. You want to go to bodyhealth.com. If you're not on the Perfect Aminos, you're crazy. You're absolutely crazy, because we know that our bodies are lacking protein. We know this to be true. It doesn't matter what you eat and what you think you know about protein. We're going to get into the protein story in just a moment with Dr. David Minkoff. Bodyhealth.com is the website. 25% off for Frankie Boyer listeners. 877-804-3258. 877-804-3258. I am encouraging every single one of my listeners to focus on one area this week and make a change. One area of your life. That's one area. I'm not asking you to transform your whole life. Not asking you to clean out every closet in your house, but one area. We will return with Dr. David Minkoff in just a moment. This is Frankie Boyer, WCRN and WACE. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It's Frankie Boyer, Dr. David Minkoff, and you know, I read this book and I go through this book and I'm like blown away by the search for the perfect protein. And before we went to break, I said we all need protein. We don't realize how protein deprived we are. When did you first start to notice that your patients that were really sick, Dr. Minkoff, were protein deprived?
Probably 15 years ago. And, they all have bad guts, and we tried various things, but it never seemed to make any difference. And then, probably in 2004, 2005, I started to work with amino acids, and then when I saw the difference in myself, I then started experimenting with them in my patients, and we found just massive transformations with people. And that didn't matter if it was a fatigued housewife or an Olympic cyclist. They would get tremendous changes, tremendous recovery. And then I started to monitor blood levels of amino acids in patients. And so everyone that I see now, this is one of the routine tests that I do, and virtually everybody's low. But when they start taking Perfect Amino, their levels gradually come up, and then they can see the change in their body. Some of it is, their fingernails get stronger, or their hair grows better. Some of them it's energy. Some of them it's muscles. Some of them it's sleep. We routinely see people who have osteoporosis. Most of these are females. But, they're females in the 50 to 70 range, and their bone densities have gone down. And, if you look on if you listen to most of the advertisements, the problem with bone density is supposedly calcium, and if you take Citracal or one of these products, that your bones will get dense. But it doesn't really work because it's not the problem. The bones are made out of a protein. It's collagen. And if the collagen is there, then you can stick minerals on. It's kind of the way they used to make walls. They would put lath down, which are strips of wood, and then they would make the plaster on top of it so that it would stick. And that's how our bones work too. You can't just put plaster on empty space. It won't stick. So if you can rebuild the collagen, which is the sort of the matrix that the minerals, calcium, phosphorus, get stuck to, you can rebuild bones. So we see people routinely, 6 months after Perfect Amino, and then some selected exercises, of course, pay attention to vitamin D and hormones, their bones rebuild, their bones remodel, and their osteoporosis improves. So it's very important. Very few people pay attention to it that are in either the nutrition or the health field. And many of those, once they learn about Perfect Amino and they add it to their programs, see just massive changes. And so it can really make a difference for someone.
Yeah. I always quote from your book, The Search for the Perfect Protein, that most people that have cancer, protein malnourished. Most patients that have autoimmune diseases, protein malnourished. Sleep disorder, protein malnourished. Parkinson's, protein malnourished. Dementia. The one thing we want to hold on to is our cognitive abilities. And again, you look at the patients, they're protein malnourished. And
it's interesting because in the book it says most patients with the following conditions are protein malnourished. And, the publisher was afraid for me to put all patients, but truly it's all patients with any kind of chronic disease. I don't care what's wrong with you, whether it's Parkinson's or cancer or some kind of autoimmune disease. All patients are protein malnourished. And part of their recovery requires that they build their body protein back.
Yeah. Give me your definition of how someone listening to this right now who's been dormant and is saying, okay, I've got to hear what Dr. Minkoff and Frankie are saying. Where do they begin? How do they get out of that place that they're in? There's a lot of anger. There's a lot of frustration. People are very quick-tempered. I've noticed that on the highways. I've noticed that with my own friends. People are really, the fuse is really low right now. It's really low. How do they begin? Where do they go to get this program going? How do they begin? Tell us what the beginning is.
I think the beginning is just sitting down with yourself for 15 minutes and kind of looking at the condition that you're in. You know, how's the condition of your body, of your health, of your intellect, of your thinking, of your relationship with your spouse, of your relationship with work. You know, you just take an inventory. Like, if 10 is I'm doing really good, and 1 is I'm doing really bad, stick a number on each of those important areas of your life, and I think many people will find that there is definitely room for improvement. So that's your baseline. So from that baseline, you can then create what would an ideal scene look like. Like if my marriage was really good and it was a 10, and my physical body and my health was a 10, what would that look like? And now you've created this gap between where you are and where you want to be.
I love that. Yeah. When we come back from break, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back from break, we will continue this conversation. This is really important, everybody. We're going to tell you what the basics are, what you really need to do, how to get moving, how to slowly get moving. We will do that in just a moment. Frankie Boyer with Dr. David Minkoff. The book is free, by the way. I think there's an e-copy on bodyhealth.com. Bodyhealth.com. The phone number is 877-804-3258. We'll be back in just a moment right here on WCRN and WACE. Stay tuned. And welcome back. It's Frankie Boyer with Dr. David Minkoff today on WCRN and WACE, and we're talking about getting back to basics, getting control back in your life. And I love what you're saying, Dr. Minkoff, looking at all the areas of your life and what areas need to be improved and what you want to see change happening. And I have to say that movement is really critical. I'm not just giving you lip service now. I'm telling you all the truth. When the alarm goes off and I didn't sleep really well the night before, I want to text my friend who is so lovely, and she'll say, did you sleep well? Do you want to do it this morning? And I'm going, yes. Tomorrow is going to be a very warm day. And you know what? I'm not taking the day off because we'll get out a little bit earlier. That's what you do. You get out a little bit earlier. I think it's really important to hear what Dr. Minkoff is saying. No, we're not going to be professional athletes like Dr. Minkoff, who is a superstar in the world of athletics. Not only is he board certified, not only does he run a company, but he also has done 43 Ironman finishes. And he's passionate about fitness and continues to train on a regular basis. And that is like extraordinary at 72 years young. And that's what makes him look so young and be so young. So that's a very important part of the story, is this movement piece, Dr. Minkoff.
Yeah.
How do they get How do they get off the sofa?
Well, it's not something someone can do for you. I think your buddy system is perfect. You get a buddy or you get 3, and they're expecting you to show up, and you're expecting them to show up, and it just gets rid of the excuses. In life, either you have the things that you want or you have the reasons why you didn't get it. And the reasons never add up to products. They never add up to fulfillment. They never add up to satisfaction. I was tired that day. I couldn't do it. I didn't sleep well. Whatever. For every person, it's all the same things happen. But some people take sort of the bull by the horns, or they take their own bootstraps and they pull them up, and they decide, I made a commitment to walk every day for 60 days, a minimum of 15 minutes or 20 minutes, and it's pouring outside. I am going to go outside and do my walk. or I'm not going to bed until I do my walk, or I do my 25 push-ups, or, whatever it is. And that changes people. That makes, when you buck up against your own reasons why not, it allows you to take control of your life. And if you don't, then your life controls you, and, it just isn't as good.
Yeah. We really have to do this for us, and then everything else will fall into place. And as you have shared with us, Dr. Minkoff, this disease is not going anywhere right now. It really isn't. And so we really need to take that control back and really and truly start living our lives on a different plane. And that means...
Yeah, because
yeah, go ahead.
I think the reason that this is important is that this is the first one that's being thrown. There's one in the wings coming, I can guarantee you. And if they can control you by this chaos that's being created, they can make everyone a sheep, and they can keep you home in front of your TV sets and program you to whatever they want. And unless you say no, I'm going to live my life, I'm going to create my own life, I'm going to make my goals, I'm going to improve everything, even in the face of this, then you've won. And that's a lot better way to live, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. This is absolutely important, and it will spill into other areas of your life. It will spill into other areas of your life. And I will tell you, we're not telling you something you don't already know. You all know, inside, you know what the truth is. We all know what the truth is. The manipulation that's happening in this country is beyond, in my opinion, it's beyond anything I have ever imagined that I would ever be living through.
Right.
And I say this because there are so many people fighting for this vaccine, to make the vaccine and to get the vaccine out. Well, I'm not going to take that vaccine for many, many reasons, and many, you all know what the reasons are. And there are going to be a lot of people that are going to be forcing us to take this vaccine, and the pressures are going to be really high. How will your immune system be to handle that vaccine is the question. And I don't know, Dr. Minkoff, it scares me how fast they're going at this vaccine.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's there's an agenda here, and the vaccine is part of the agenda. So if you want to, I tell patients this all the time. Your lifestyle, you could equate your lifestyle to being on a train, and 20 miles ahead is a brick wall, and the train is heading for the brick wall. You eat fast food, you don't take supplements, you don't exercise, you're 25 pounds overweight. You are on a train, and the chances of you having a heart attack, stroke, cancer, autoimmune disease are very high. And those diseases are the brick wall. And you have a choice. Your choice is you can change your lifestyle, you can eat correctly, and you can exercise, and you can take supplements, and you will get off that train. You will redirect your life in another direction. But if you don't get off the train, then you're going to succumb most likely to one of these medical problems. And while your doctor is doing his best to help you, usually the things that he's going to do to help you are also going to keep you on that train headed toward that brick wall. Diabetes medicines increase the incidence of artery disease by 2 times. They can help you lower your blood sugar, but that isn't how blood sugar should get lowered. It should get lowered by proper eating, unless you're a type 1 diabetic. So, I think people, if they start to confront, like, where are you now? Where would you ideally be? And I don't think it makes any difference if you're 20 or if you're 70. Because I do this exercise myself. Every day I look at my goal list and I look at where I am. And it's like, am I moving these things forward every day? My exercise goals, my relationship with my spouse, my business goals, every day. Here's the target. What am I going to do today to move it forward?
Love that.
And then
Love that.
You've gotten off the train and you're headed toward a life that you're creating yourself.
Right.
And
so what are you going to do today to move the train? What are you out there, all of us, going to do? For me, it began with the movement, with the walking. I'm adding arms to it now. I haven't done the push-ups yet, but I intend to add that this week, and to do some other things because I think I need that. My body needs it. I know I need that. Start slowly, but get out there. It's such a great feeling. And I'm not going to lie to you, it's not easy every day to do it. You don't always want to get out and do it. But it's a great accomplishment when it's done. I can tell you that. It's like a great relief. And what are you taking for supplements? Are you understanding the power of supplements right now? I mean, we've got to be really on top of this because Dr. Minkoff is right. There's going to be there's like 2 or 3 other viruses in the wings waiting to come in.
Yeah, I just saw a report from there's a Chinese new flu, H1N1 flu. It's coming. This is too good to be true for many aspects. For you and I, it isn't good, but there's a lot of money being made on this thing, and I don't see it going away soon. I think that we ought to be prepared to put up with this for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a way of life now, everybody. It's not going away. We know this now. We know this to be true. It's not going away. We're going to take a quick break. Dr. David Minkoff is with us. He is the founder of Body Health. He created these extraordinary products. Check out bodyhealth.com. Phone number is 877-804-3258. That's 877-804-3258. Everyone listening should be on the aminos. I can't just tell you enough. I mean, I could write a book about those aminos. They're so spectacular. They've changed everything. Everything. And the electrolyte formula, oh my gosh. We'll talk about that when we come back, Dr. Minkoff. That is just brilliant what you've done. Absolutely brilliant. I drink it when I'm walking in the morning. We'll talk about that in a moment. Yeah, fabulous stuff. This is Frankie Boyer, WCRN-WACE, and Dr. David Minkoff, the author of The Search for the Perfect Protein, is with us today. We'll be back in just a moment. Stay tuned. Welcome back. I was just telling Dr. Minkoff during the break, I am, first of all, I'm a fan of all of the products, but I just got to try the watermelon electrolyte formula. Oh my gosh, Dr. Minkoff, this is so perfect because this has been one of the most unusually humid and hot summers in New England. And it's been really pretty awful. It's just been pretty awful. It's almost like a Florida summer. I have to say that. That's how intense it is. And so we don't realize how we're losing so many nutrients. And tell us about this incredible electrolyte formula that Body Health you created at Body Health.
Yeah, it's really good. So I do a lot today. So we have a double Florida heat right now. I mean, this is, I think the whole country's experiencing. But it was, the heat index is over 100. The humidity index is really high. So I did a 4-hour bike ride this morning. And it was, and I really don't usually do any calories. I'm keto adapted, so I drink the electrolytes, and there's some perfect amino in with the electrolytes. So it's sodium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, and trace minerals with perfect amino. And these electrolytes are really good. Like, I used to cramp when I rode my bike, and I tried all different kinds of formulas that other people were making because if it was very hot and I was 3 or so hours into a hard ride, I would cramp. And now I'm not cramping at all. Like, these things are really good. So if you're outside, if you're exercising, if you're looking for a drink just to have with, if you want something besides water.
It's delicious. I do put a little, I put a little monk fruit, extra monk fruit in it, Lakanto monk fruit. I just put a little of the liquid in it. And I mix it sometimes with my vitamin C, and it's just, oh my God, it's spectacular. I make like a cocktail out of it.
Yeah, I mean, my kids are here, my grandkids are here right now, and we just have a great big pitcher on the table with water and ice and a couple scoops of the electrolytes in there, and the kids drink it, and they love it, and it's really good for them. So it's a really good product, and if you've been using Gatorade or one of these other kinds of products, try this, because it really has a very good mix of the things that you need if you're sweating, and if you need thirst satisfaction. In fact, I just had a glass where I took some seltzer water and just put the perfect amino, the electrolytes in the seltzer water, so it gave it a little bit of a watermelon flavor, and they're delicious.
Oh, I love them. I drink it. I'm drinking it as my drink now throughout the day.
Yeah.
I drink it. I put it in my water as I walk out the door, and then when I come back, the rest of the day, I'm putting it in my water. It's my flavored water for the day.
Yeah.
And it's just that good. It's that good, and I'm really fussy about my taste buds. Really fussy. And I'm telling you that it's delicious. I haven't tried the orange peach. I can't wait to try that one. But the watermelon is outrageous.
Yeah, they're both really good, and everybody has different tastes. So I encourage people to try it. I think they'll really like it.
Yeah, they're going to love it. They're going to absolutely love it. Besides the spectacular products that you create, what are you telling your patients that have underlying conditions that are more susceptible to this virus? What are you telling them to take extras of? Well, I think a combination of that they should be taking extra vitamin C. They should be taking zinc. There's an antioxidant that's like vitamin C, which is called quercetin. So I have them take quercetin. And I think they should be on a probiotic. They should limit their sugar intake. They should get some sunshine every day. Get enough sleep. I think make sure they're taking vitamin D and that their vitamin D level in their blood is above 50. And I think if they do those things, that their susceptibility to getting sick with the virus is very, very low. I also encourage people not to take a flu shot because we know that the flu shot will increase the chances of them getting COVID. If you already got it, don't worry about it. But we know that's one of the factors that makes them more susceptible. So
I think those are the things that are important, that anyone can do. They're not expensive. I also encourage people to take Perfect Amino because your immune system is made out of protein and most people don't get enough.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Things they're gonna be all right.
We've heard that the damage, if you have had COVID, is could become a lifelong problem for even the healthiest of people. I don't know if that's true or not, but if you've had the COVID, what do you recommend? The same routine? Do you up it? Do you do mega vitamins for a while and for the next few months?
Well, I think that you really need help. If you got sick with it or you're sick with it, then you should find a natural practitioner who understands clinical nutrition, who can help you sort of redirect your body in a way so that it can heal the best. And I think that most of the people who are getting sick with this have a lot of room in that area where they can improve. So there's sort of the acute process and this whole cytokine thing, but people get cytokine storms when their nutrition isn't right and when they're not taking the right supplements. We have a new product that's going to be coming out in the next couple of weeks. It is a tablet that you put into water, and it makes free hydrogen gas in the water.
Oh yeah.
And it's it's an amazing antioxidant. It protects against radiation. It protects against cytokine storm. And so there's things that people can do, and so I just encourage people to, use our products, but if you're sick, you need help. And there's plenty of nutritionists around who are, who can really help you work out a supplement program and a dietary program so that you can heal if you're sick and get back to normal.
Yeah. But it begins if you are not sick, and I'm really stressing that you listen to what Dr. Minkoff has been saying. Just what is it that you need to focus on? What's the end result? What is the result that you want to have happen by the end of the day? And I can't think of anyone out there that would not have a lot of things to be working on. We all do. And this is an opportunity for each and every one of us to really get rid of that sugar. I can't stress enough that sugar is just going to, the deleterious effects of sugar are just, they plague us. They just really have such a terrible effect. You've got to get rid of the sugar, everybody. There's no doubt about it. Get rid of the sugar. And put a little extra fat. Put a little extra nuts into your diet while you're doing it. It'll make you feel satiated and feel full. And many people have shared with me that the Perfect Aminos fill them up and also kind of takes that place. They're really full after they have the Perfect Aminos, and their stomachs don't feel like that sugar. So, I've heard that from a few people, Dr. Minkoff.
Yeah. No, it's true. I think sometimes cravings just represent the body needs something. And we find with our patients that if we can get them on a good nutrition diet and the supplements, that their cravings within a few weeks go away.
Yeah.
Like they can walk by the donut shop, or they can, see the Snickers bar and know what the heck. I don't really crave that because I know it's not going to be good for me.
Yeah. I have to tell you, we're out of time, but boy, this has been, what an hour this has been with Dr. David Minkoff. The book is The Search for the Perfect Protein, bodyhealth.com. Solid information today from our doctor, 877-804-3258, 877-804-3258, 25% off Dr. Minkoff, as always, what an honor and a pleasure to have you with us on a regular basis. It's just to have a alternative, holistic, functional medicine doctor giving us the truth is so reassuring for all of us. And now we have to heed your warnings and start living the way that we need to. And I appreciate your time today.
Thanks, Frankie. Frankie, great to talk to you. And, people just can take baby steps, another baby step, and then pretty soon you get there.
Yes. And we will see you next time. This has been another edition of the Frankie Boyer Show for WCRN and WACE. Thanks for listening. Make it a great day, everybody, and smile. And stay tuned. Howie Carr is next.